great nation has persevered through the leadership and sacrifice of men and women who have served or are currently serving in our armed forces. We invite both veterans and current military personnel to please stand. We thank you for your service to our country. And now we invite everyone in attendance, please stand. Gentlemen, remove your caps. As tonight, Grafton High School senior Laura Smith will sing our national anthem. Tonight we ask all those in attendance to support our Grafton High School music boosted by visiting the concession stand, which is located on the pavilion.
Welcome to Grafton football, week 2, Grafton versus Shrewsbury. Just a quick note before we begin, this is technically a Shrewsbury home game being played here at Grafton High School. And as quick as the kick is away, Ryan Jack is back to receive. He receives it and he's going to go up the field to about the 40-yard line, but we do have a flag. Early flag in this one so far.
However, there is a flag on the play.
And this one's going to be brought back on the first play.
Against Grafton. Grafton will have 1st and 10.
So early block on the back by Grafton on the kickoff is going to bring this one back. And this is where the Grafton Needs offense is going to set up here to begin week 2. So again, this is a technical Shrewsbury home game being played at Grafton High School. As the conditions at Shrewsbury High were not good enough to play. So here we are, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. The Indians coming in this game, beating the North Middlesex Patriots last week. But they have a tough task against the Colonials. Holbrook in the gun. He's going to fake the handoff. He's looking left. He avoids pressure on his way to the sideline now. He's going to take contact on his way out of bounds. Big hit.
Number 6, Alex Cashman.
Last week we saw Holbrook rush for a touchdown late in that game. And on the first play, he runs for no gain. Or about 2 yards on the play. But like I was saying, Holbrook running for the touchdown last week to pretty much seal the deal on that game. He had quick feet all night, avoiding pressure up the middle, finding his men downfield. The Indians set up for a 2nd and 8. As they break huddle, we have Joe Blatt on the near side. Ryan Jack on the far side. Again, Holbrook in the gun. Fakes a handoff one way, gets it to Sonnet. And he's going to get about 8, and that's good enough for the first down. Beautiful run there from Jackson Sonnet.
Run by Jackson Sonnet, that's good for a Grafton first down.
We saw the Indians really push the run game last week,
On the 31-yard line.
early and often, and that really opened up their passing game. So if Sonnet can stay on the ground and pick up a good average every time, it's going to make them respect the run and let Holbrook throw away on the pass. So the Indians do pick up a first down on the draw play. Ryan Jack now lines up on the near side. Holbrook's going to pitch out to Sonnet. He's going to try to find some blockers, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get maybe 2.
Contact made by number 58.
This Colonials defense seems to be everywhere early on in the drive. Very tough defense to go up against, and the Indians very well know that. As this week for the offensive line will be no easy task.
Second down and 8.
Every yard is going to be hard to earn. So again, the Indians look at a 2nd and 8. Daybreak huddle. Same set as last time. Fontana on Holbrook's right and Sonnet behind him. This time it's just going to be a handoff. Sonnet up the middle. Goes about 1 or 2 yards.
It's a tackle made by number 77.
And the Shrewsbury defensive line is going to take a quick breather, and they're going to get some subs in. One thing when you play the Colonials is they have a very deep depth chart. And not only deep, but very talented as well. Their bench can come in and do a very well job, just as the starters. So they look to mix it up on defense and offense continuously throughout the game. Indians break huddle on their first drive, 3rd and 6. Sonnet and Warner now line up on the near side. Warner now in motion. He's going to get the handoff. He's going to trip, and he's going to get hit. And it looks to be good enough for a first down. Tripped at the line of scrimmage, but makes his way about 6 yards. Good enough for the first.
And number 55.
Yes, it is good enough to move the chains for the Indians.
It is good for a Grafton first down.
McMahon staying animated on the sideline there.
35-yard line.
He knows how important this first drive is in the game. And the Indians break huddle. 8:14 remaining in this first quarter. Ryan Warner, he's near side. Sonnet, he's in the backfield with Holbrook and Fontana. Holbrook looking right. RJ looks to have his man beat, but he cannot receive the catch on the sideline.
For Ryan Jack, brings up a 2nd down and 10.
Nice touch pass there by Holbrook, just off the money. Indians looking at 2nd and 10 now. Ball on their own 41. You're going to hear McMahon over there on the sideline saying right away he wants to get his offense at the line of scrimmage. If they can keep a pace in this game and continuously shove it down the field, it will keep the Colonials on their heels. And that's what the Indians want all game. They got to be the aggressors. Holbrook's under center in the eye, and this play is going to be blown dead. And it's another penalty on the Indians, illegal procedure. So 2 penalties early for the Indians. Already hurting themselves, but either way, the Indians are going to take this one 2nd and 15, now on their own 36-yard line. Holbrook comes back into the huddle. 7:33 and change. Indians sprinting to the line, just as Coach McMahon ordered. Hand off to Jackson Sonnet. He's looking right, finding a few holes, jukes his way up. He's going to get about 4 there. Bring it out to about the 40. This is a very hard-hitting Shrewsbury team, and the Indians very well know.
It's up a 3rd down and 11.
So it's about 3rd and 10, maybe 11 for the Indians. And this is a very crucial play early on for the Indians. Again, their first drive. Okay, another third down. Sonnet and Jack line up on the near side. And the Warner's on the far side. In the shotgun, Holbrook takes the snap. He's looking left. That's Sonnet. Oh, and it's an incomplete pass there from Holbrook. No flag on the play. Looked as if the hookup was going to be there between Holbrook and Sonnet, but to no avail. So that's going to bring out the punt unit for Grafton. Last week we saw the Indians punt away on their first drive, and it was ended up being a fumble by the North Middlesex Patriots, in which Ben Barabee fell on the fumble for a touchdown. And it's a high snap to Holbrook. He is going to get it. Almost blocked. Pressure early from the Shrewsbury Colonials, especially on special teams. Breaking a few tackles. And making his way near the 40-yard line.
Number 46. Cole Thornton on the tackle.
Good return there for the Colonials. That was Phil Sminrinos on the return, senior. And this is going to be the Colonials' first drive of week 2. All week, the Indians' defense has been talking about the star-studded power this Colonial team has. Starting with Drew Campanelli, the quarterback, and senior. It goes to Campanelli. He's looking right on the QB draw. He finds an outside corner, and he gets about 9. And you're going to hear his name all night.
Picks up about 7 yards.
So Campanelli gets about 7.
Second down and 3.
Number 5, Ben Harris comes out for the Colonials, and entering number 6, Alex Cashman. We're now going to see Campanelli under center. It's going to be a handoff to number 14, John White. Also a senior, he's going to see a lot of carries tonight as well.
Handoff to number 14.
And that gain's good enough to move the chains.
First down.
So early on, the Colonials move the chains. And they're going to get another sub. This time, Harris is going to enter the game. This Indian defense is going to have to hold strong in the middle in order to stop the run and prevent the deep throws downfield by giving Campanelli any time in the pocket. It's a 2 wide receiver set for the Colonials. Campanelli is getting pressured up the middle, and he is sacked for a loss. Great up the middle pressure by the Indians, and that's going to set them back just a few yards. The Indians really crammed the middle there, throwing all the defensive linemen at the quarterback and rushing with a few linebackers while keeping and maintaining coverage downfield. Great defense. Now, backed up, the Colonials are at a 2nd and 15 opportunity. Ball on their own 48. Snap to Campanelli. It's going to be a handoff. This one's going to go for about 4. Now the ball's on the 47. Indians getting a sub. And this is looking good for the Indians. Number 44, Cam Diamond enters the game. This is his first start of the season. He's coming off a hip injury he suffered earlier in training camp. So good sign early for the Indians. But let's see if they can get this third down stop. 3rd and 10. The Colonials break. Campanelli lonesome in the backfield. And we're going to get an early timeout by the Colonials. So early on in this game, we see the defenses definitely take power, take assertive and dominance over this game. We are early though. 3rd and 10 for the Colonials after they come out from the timeout. So the timeout is over.
Let's hear it for the Grafton High Pep Band.
Again, Campanelli looks like he's going to be alone in the backfield. It's going to be a trio set. 3 wide receivers on the near side for the Colonials. 1 on the outside. He's looking towards the right side, and he finds a man. Campanelli finds a man, number 33. Cam Schaefer making his way downfield, finding a few blocks. He's going to make his way to the outside, now to the 30-yard line, and where he is brought down by the Indians, Jackson Sonnet and Ryan Warner. A good pass play and hook up there for the Colonials.
Shrewsbury has the ball, 1st and 10. The ball on the 31-yard line.
Big chunk of yards there for the Colonials. 34 exactly on the play. And the Colonials break huddle again. Campanelli lonesome in the backfield. Tight end and wide receiver right. Man in motion to the right as well. Campanelli's going to keep it on the QB sneak. QB draw, excuse me. He's going to get stuffed out to about a 4-yard gain.
By a host of Grafton players. Initial tackle made by number 66.
And Cam Diamond's going to check out.
Brings up a 2nd down.
2nd and 5 on the 5-yard gain by the Colonials. 2:50 and change remaining in the first quarter. Campanelli again, lonesome in the backfield. 2 wide receivers left, man in motion. Fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, looking right. Finds a few holes, hits the gap. Trucks a man, and he's down. And he's going to get the first down out to about a gain of 8 or 9.
That's good for a Shrewsbury first down.
So yet another Shrewsbury first down. They're continuously moving the ball on this drive. Indians defense looking tired. Need a stop here, as this is just the Colonials' first drive. Look to hold them to maybe 3 points on the board. Campanelli in the gun. This one's going to be handed off to White. Finds a hole, splits the middle, and another big gain for the Colonials on the run. They've been sticking to that ground game.
And Max DeFriedison on the tackle.
The Colonials now deep in the Indians' red zone. 2nd and 1 from the 6. Minute and 40 left in the first quarter. And the Colonials break huddle. Campanelli urgently clapping for the snap. He'll get it. It's going to be another handoff. And the ball is loose. Looks like Ryan Jack is on the ball. Sonnet signaling his way. We're waiting for a call here. And although the ball looks to be fumbled by John White, it looks like the Shrewsbury Colonials are going to keep this one. The Indians thought they got that one, thought they jumped on it, but he was marked down before the fumble. So Shrewsbury will remain with the ball. There's just 39 seconds remaining in this first quarter. So they did pick up the first down on the play. They're looking at 1st and goal from the 1. Flag is thrown.
Flag on the play.
Well, let's see what the call is.
Procedure against Shrewsbury.
So it's going to be a penalty on Shrewsbury. That is now 2 on Grafton and 1 for Shrewsbury. Both teams picking up flags early. And the clock is going to continue to run. We're under 30 now.
So First down and goal.
So it gives the Indians just a little bit more breathing room down in their own red zone. Colonials need now just 6. They break huddle. Under center, Campanelli sends a man in motion. Handoff to the fullback. And that one's only going to go for about 1, maybe 2.
14, John White.
So number 34, Tucker Montego with that carry. And after 1, score is 0-0. We'll be right back after this. And now we enter the second quarter. The Colonials are going to have the ball 2nd and 2 on the Indians' 2-yard line. Colonials send a man in motion. They're going to pitch it out there to White. White's going to break the pylon, and he's going to get 6.
John White, touchdown, Shrewsbury.
So we went scoreless in the first quarter, but just seconds into the second quarter, the Colonials are on the board. On their first drive of the game, they pick up 6 points. Now for the PAT.
Kicking an extra point for Shrewsbury, number 28, Adam.
McAdam for the PAT. And the PAT is good.
Making the score Shrewsbury 7, Grafton 0.
So Shrewsbury puts up a quick 7 to begin the second quarter. And now the Indians look to start their second drive.
Grafton High class of the 2019 and 2020 is selling 50-50 raffle tickets tonight. Tickets to be purchased by the
So the Indians can't pick up any points on the first drive. The Colonials can. And if you were the Indians coming into this game, you want to keep the ball out of Campanelli's hands for as long as you can. They did hold the ball for about 4 or 5 minutes before handing it over to the Colonials, who then took it for a 6-minute drive and putting up 7 points. So if you're the Indians, the game plan should stay the same. You got to keep the ball, you got to get first downs, you got to drive your way downfield, and you got to try to hold the ball and possess the ball for as long as you can. Keep it out of the star-powered hands of the Colonials. Back to return are the seniors, Ryan Jack and Jackson Sonnet. Ryan Jack muffs he's going to muff the kick, but he falls right on it. So a little bit of a quick scare there for the Indians, but Jack falls right on it. They're going to get the ball on the far side of the 25. Holbrook coming back to the huddle. He's looking to put up some points on this second drive. The Indians break huddle.
25-yard line.
Nolan Warner, the sophomore, number 11. He's lined up on the near side. Jack on the far side. Holbrook at the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Sonny. He's looking right. Finds a hole and he hits it. And it's a great game for the Indians. So a good first play there by the Indians on a 13-yard rush from the senior quarterback, Matt Holbrook. Great run to start this second drive. And he looked to hit that hole beautifully. Ryan Warner now receiving the play calls from Bink. Indians break huddle. Ryan Warner, number 7, lines up on the near side. Sonnet is the lonesome man in the backfield. It's a wildcat formation. They send Warner in motion. Sonnet keeps it. Trying to find some holes, but he's stuffed after about a 1 or 2 yard gain. That'll be about 2nd and 8.
66. Okay, Nelson on the tackle. 2nd down and 8 for Grafton.
So now we're under 10 minutes in the second quarter. Grafton has the ball on their own 46. Holbrook in the gun. Fakes it again to Sonnet. Stiffs arms a man and is on his way to the outside. And looks to pick up the first down, but this one might be coming back. And the refs are going to come together to discuss the last call. This one's coming back. Holding on 50, that looks to be Ben Barabee. So after a first down pickup from Holbrook, this one looks to be coming back. Sonnet showing his frustration with the call. Second and 18.
Second down and 18 for Grafton. Ball at the 35-yard line.
So the ball on the Indians' own 35 now as they pick up yet another penalty, their third of the game. And this one looks to be blown dead as well. This time it's a timeout by the Indians. So a 20-second timeout taken by the Indians, and they're going to look to huddle this one back up. Both teams making substitutions on the play. 8:44 remaining in the second quarter. The Colonials still hold a 7-0 lead. Holbrook on the keeper, and he stumbles on his way to the outside and is tackled down after about a 10-yard gain.
13, Jackson Lane.
Good tackle there by the Colonials, Jackson Wayne on the outside. Not easy to tackle that big man, Matt Holbrook. So another third down play now for the Indians on their second drive. It's 3rd and 8. Warner in motion. He's going to receive the handoff, making his way outside, and is brought down after a quick gain of 2 or 3. Late flag. Indian fan section cheering and applauding. Looks to be on the Colonials. Possibly a late hit. And that's exactly what it's going to be, a late hit on the Colonials. Both teams getting penalties early. That one's going to be good enough for a first down. So the Indians do get a first down on the late hit call. First and 10 for the Indians on the Colonials' 40-yard line. Nolan and Jack lined up on the near side. And this one's going to be blown dead. And it's going to be another timeout for the Indians.
Timeout, Grafton.
They know the importance of this drive as the Colonials will receive the ball to start the third quarter. So the Indians call another timeout, but this one looks to be just about over. So as they bring it back together, there's 7:15 remaining in the first half. It'll still be a 1st and 10. The Indians break huddle. Jack and Warner line up on the near side. Fontana in the backfield with Holbrook. Holbrook receives a snap, looks right. Fires deep right to Ryan Jack. And it's just over the grab. just out of reach for Ryan Jack, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. Another great defensive play from the Colonials.
2nd down and 10.
So the Indians are going to put up points here on this drive. Ryan Warner checks out of the game for the play. The Indians now in the eye. The lonesome man is Ryan Jack on the left side, but the pitch is to Sonic. Makes his way to the outside. Finds a few blocks. Can't stay in bounds, but he is pushed out. Good enough for the first. Good run for the Indians. Much needed as well.
7:01 left, 2nd quarter.
And Joe Blatt heads out. Ryan Warner checks back in. Again, the Indians in the eye. Holbrook under center, looking left. He's going to fire. Great catch by Ryan Warner through the contact. Maybe good enough for about 6.
Pick up about 5 yards. 2nd down and 5.
So they give him 5 on the play. So 2nd and 5. The Indians have the ball on the Colonials' 24-yard line.
2nd down and 5.
They break huddle. Ryan Warner, far left side. Holbrook now on your near side of the screen. Fake handoff to Warner as he's put in motion. Ryan Jack keeps it, and he dives forward. Looks to be good enough for the first down.
First down.
And they're going to give it to him. It's going to move the chains. Great effort there by the senior Ryan Jack on the diving effort.
1st and 10.
So 1st and 10. Now in the red zone of the Colonials. If you're the Indians, this is a perfect time to score and a much needed time to score. They've retained the ball for about 5 minutes now. And the clock is continuously running. Warner slowly sent in motion. The keeper on the Wildcat by Ryan Jack shoves off a few tackles, gains about 1 or 2.
No gain on the play.
And it's going to be no gain. Stuffed at the line of scrimmage is Ryan Jack.
Jeff Swenson on the tackle. 2nd down and 10 for Grafton.
So Warner checks out, Sana checking back in. Holbrook receives word, and now he's back into the huddle. 5 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. Score still 7-0, Shrewsbury ahead. Holbrook on the keeper. Spins and avoids a few tackles, but it's going to end up losing yards on the play. Play was broken up from the beginning. Holbrook tried to break and shut a few tackles, but could not do so. So they're going to lose, looks to be 1 or 2 yards on the play.
3rd down and 12 for Grafton.
So 3rd and long for the Indians here. Looking to pick up some yards. If you're the Indians here, you're just going to try to get a few yards. Maybe put it in field goal range or maybe 4-down territory. They break huddle.
Timeout.
And they're going to discuss what they're going to do here as they're going to call another timeout. So 4:09 remaining now until halftime. Very crucial drive for the Indians. This could be the last time they get the ball before halftime. And the Colonials will receive the second half kickoff. To the Indians, ideally you put up 7. But if you can put up 3 and give your team a little bit of momentum heading into halftime, or maybe even on the defensive side to force a turnover and possibly get the ball back before halftime. That's exactly what you want to do. So this play is extremely important. So they're looking at a 3rd and 12 from the 20-yard line. Both teams huddle up, and the Colonials are heading back onto the field.
Today for Grafton High Athletics, congratulations to our girls volleyball team today for their win over Oxford, and our boys and girls soccer teams for their big wins over Shepherd Hill.
Alrighty, so here we go. Timeout is over, and the Indians are huddling up. Maybe the biggest play of the first half right here for the Indians. Sonnet and Jack line up on the right side. The Indians in the eye. Fontana and Warner in the backfield. Holbrook drops back, looking right. Pressure, he's hit, and sacked. Looks to be a fumble. So a big hit on the quarterback on the blind side. Holbrook cannot get rid of it in time. It is a fumble, but is recovered by the offensive line of the Indians. So you can't really necessarily call it no harm, no foul, because it did set back the Indians just a few yards. But it looks like the Indians are going to keep their offense on the field. McMahon shouting orders. Bink gives a call to Holbrook, and he knows the importance of this play. Under 3:30 now in the second quarter. Trio set for the Indians. They got 3 on the right side and a single man on the left. Holbrook in the gun. He looks deep right. He sees Warner, and it is a great defensive play by the Colonials. Broken up by number 1, TJ Morgera, on a great defensive play as he bats it out of bounds. It looked like he could have floated over his head. Warner had a great route on the outside. Just not enough juice on that one to get over the head of the junior Morgera. Great defensive play by the Colonials, and that'll set them up on their own 27. They have 3 minutes and 11 seconds to try to put some points on the board. A touchdown can almost put this game out of reach. It is early, it is only 7-0, but right now the Indians' offense is stalling. So the star-studded power of Campanelli and White step back on the field. It's a handoff right to White. He breaks a few tackles, finds a hole. He's out near the 40-yard line now where he is tackled down.
Number 14, John Boyd.
Big run for the Colonials. About 33 yards on the carry.
First and 10
And they're going to go no huddle, the Colonials are.
on the 40-yard line.
Campanelli and White in the gun. Campanelli looks left, he fires it. It is caught. Tackle out of bounds by Grafton senior number 7, Ryan Warner. But not before a solid 5-yard gain between Ben Harris, thrown from Campanelli. And now the Shrewsbury crowd is getting into it. Some eeriness from the Indian side, though. Campanelli has really shown his arm so far in this game, throwing extremely accurately while keeping his feet quick in the pocket and elusive as he's picked up a few quick 5-yard gains on the run. Campanelli receives a snap, tries to avoid pressure, but he cannot. He's going to be sacked. Great up the middle pressure there from the Indians' defensive line, especially number 68.
And number 46, Cole Thornton.
So a 2-man sack there for the Indians, and that's going to bring back the Colonials 2 yards. Or excuse me, 7 yards, but now looking at a 3rd and 12. Big stop here for the Indians to try to get the ball back before halftime. First down would be lethal. The fake handoff. It's going to be a QB keep for Campanelli.
by number 50, Ben Burley. Fourth down and 7.
4th and 7
Shrewsbury.
for the Colonials, and we're going to get a whistle. Timeout, Colonials. Sonnet urging his teammates on here.
Called by Shrewsbury.
Breaking down the first half, the Indians have struggled on offense. They worked their way down the field, but penalties have hurt them early so far. Unable to score in the red zone. The Colonials got the ball back, and here they are on the drive. After a crazy 30-plus yard run from White, they're looking at a 4th and 7 on the Indians' 42-yard line. A minute and 50 seconds remain in the first half. Again, the Colonials hold a 7-0 lead, but are facing a 4th down. So they take a full timeout here to talk things through. And they break huddle, both teams.
People to buy their 50-50 raffle tickets. Students are going through the stand selling the tickets.
And now the Colonials make their way to the line. Campanelli from the gun. White to his right. The snap to Campanelli, the fake to White. He's looking left, avoids pressure left. Looks left again. And it's over the head of White. He had a man open. Campanelli knew it. Shows his frustration, but the Indians will take over. They're going to get the ball on their own 42. They have a minute and 41 to try to score.
The JV team will be
So here the Indians are going to take over on downs.
and last chance to buy your raffle tickets.
This is an extremely big drive for the Indians. Not necessarily expecting to get the ball back, but their defense holds. So let's try to get on the board in the first half. It's going to be a pitch to Sonnet. He makes his way left. Finds a few tackles and a few holes. He avoids a few men. He's now on his right side. He's cutting back again. Sonnet avoiding a few men. He's at the 40. Now at the 30. Sonnet at the 20. He has one man to beat. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown, Indians. Jackson Sonnet with a beautiful run. And just like that, the Indians are on the board. An insane run by the senior, Jackson Sonnet. A 58-yard TD run brings the Indians just a PAT away from tying. What great elusiveness from the senior running back. Jake Sistani on for the PAT. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick is good.
7-7 with 1:23 left in the half.
So with a minute 23 of the Indians strike. So now the Indians are going to kick it away. So Sistani makes the PAT, and now he looks to kick it away. Back to receive is TJ Morgera and Cam Schaefer for the Colonials. The Indians break huddle and look to kick it away. Zastani has it on the tee, raises his hand, and the kick is up, and away. But this one's going to roll out of bounds. So it's going to be an illegal kick. So they're going to elect to re-kick.
Ball is kicked out of bounds. Grafton will re-kick.
So it's going to be a re-kick for the Indians here. And this time it's going to set up on the other side this time. If you're the Colonials, you don't necessarily want to take one deep shot downfield. You still have time. You still have 1 minute and 23 remaining in the first half. So plenty of time for you to get on the board if you're the Colonials. But if you're the Indians, you want to keep the pressure going. Make sure Campanelli can't sit back and find an open man deep downfield. It's going to be picked up by the Colonials. Working his way to the right side. It's going to be a big gain so far for the Colonials. Making his way right. Flag down. Might be brought back just a few yards. But a great return.
There is a flag on the play.
Number 33, Cam Schaefer on the return. The senior. But this one is going to be brought back. Let's tune in for the call.
1 minute and 11 seconds of halftime. Wait, what do you want to do? They're going to play some more.
Looks to be a block in the back. And it is. So a great return is going to be brought back.
Penalties on the play, blocking in the back and holding.
A long ways. So the Shrewsbury Colonials hurt themselves on special teams. Both teams
First down
have hurt themselves early.
Shrewsbury.
All right, so the Colonials break huddle. 1:11 to go in the first half. First and 10 on their own 34. The game is tied at 7 apiece. Campanelli in the gun, looking left, fakes left. Now looking deep up the middle. He has a man, but it's picked off by number 12, Matt Holbrook. Avoiding tackles, spin move after spin move, cuts back, and is brought down at the 42-yard line. This game is turned around. The Indians look to be dead and out of it, but here they are, well and alive. First and 10 on the 44. 57 ticks remaining in the first half. And there's going to be a timeout.
Timeout, Grafton.
Timeout by the Indians. 57 ticks remaining in the first half. So as we bring a close to the first half, we'll review the scoring plays. Early in this second quarter, the Colonials took the lead first. On a running back draw, John White entered the end zone just seconds into the quarter. Since then, the Indians have struck Jackson Sonnet with a crazy 50-plus yard run. Since then, we've had an interception from Matt Holbrook and has flipped the field for the Indians. So a lot of heavy lifting for the seniors. And the Indians look to huddle it up. Shrewsbury will receive the second half kickoff.
Grafton first down and 10.
Indians break huddle. Big drive for the Indians. Still plenty of time for them to score. They have 3 wide receivers on the left side. Holbrook receives the snap, and he looks that way. Throwing deep. It is incomplete. Intended for Ryan Warner.
Intended for Ryan Warner. Brings up a second down and 10.
Second and 10 for the Indians as they look to go deep on the first play. Just a little underthrown by Holbrook. Now there is 49 seconds remaining till halftime. Indian sideline trying to stay animated and into the game. They have been electric as of late. Holbrook receives word, and he makes his way back into the huddle. That's where the Indians break. Second and 10. Looks to be Belanger and Nolan Warner on the near side. Fontana and Warner on the far side. Warner's going to receive the screen pass. He cuts across field. Now he tries to cut back where he is hit and brought down. It's going to be third down for the Indians. Looks to be 3rd and 4. The clock still runs.
Third down.
Now the clock ticks under 20. This looks to be where the Indians will just let it run. Now at 10. This might be the last snap. The Indians may not even elect to take a snap.
And that's the end of the first.
And that's going to be the end of the first half.
7,
An eventful first half, especially towards the end. Indians 7, Colonials 7. We'll be right back out after halftime. Half of play about to begin. The Indians are kicking away.
Grafton will kick off. Jake Zastoni will kick off.
Zastoni boots this one away.
TJ Magera back deep.
And the Colonials receive. Number 1, TJ Magera back to receive. Tries to find a few holes, but he is stuffed.
Back.
Good special teams defense there by the Indians.
Almost the 30.
First and 10 for the Colonials. And this game is knotted up at 7 apiece right now. First and 10 for the Colonials to start the second half drive. Under center. Avoiding a few men, finding a few tackles, and busting his way maybe for a first down. Schaefer gets 10 yards, and it's good enough for Colonials. First play, first down.
First down and 10 for Shrewsbury.
One play, and the Colonials move the chains. Campanelli trying to lead this Colonials team down the field early in the second half. He is now under center. 2 men in the backfield. Sends a man in motion. Hands it off to one of the backs, who finds a hole, hits a man, continues trucking men down near the 35-yard line. Solid run and pick up there for the Colonials as they get another first down.
Number 14, John White on the carry. Good for another Shrewsbury first down.
White picks up another first down for the Colonials. And they look to be rolling on offense right now. 2 plays, 2 first downs. Campanelli in the gun. Puts a man in motion. Fakes a handoff to White. This one going to Harris.
number 68, Josh McFetridge.
A few yard gain on the play.
Ben Harris on the carry. Second down and 5 for Shrewsbury.
And it's going to be a 5-yard carry. Ball on the Indians' 28-yard line. The Colonials looking to get into the red zone.
7-7. Yep, they did.
Campanelli under center. Sends one man in motion.
It's out to Schaefer. It's around the corner.
Tries to find a hole around the outside. Finds only a few yards.
Good for another Shrewsbury first down.
So it is good enough for a first down, and the Colonials move the chains again. Now the Colonials knocking on the Indians' door. Here it is, 1st and 10.
Campanelli on the carry.
Campanelli going to keep it himself. Picks up a solid gain. We've seen him keep the ball a few times tonight, and each time he has found a hole in this Indians defense.
Tackle. Big gain on that play. Brings up a second down and 2.
So the Colonials trying to just pick up a few yards for the first down. Cam Diamond was there on the tackle. Good to see him back in the lineup, making a difference. Indians looking for a stop. The Colonials now in the red zone. Handoff to White.
Handoff to number 4. Clint Mills, tackle.
Gets a few, but it's good enough for a first down. The Colonials now inside the Indians' own 10.
First down and goal from the 9-yard line.
And they continuously eat clock on this drive yet again. It's going to be under 7 minutes by the time this snap. And it is going to be a false start. So with exactly 7, the clock stops.
Shrewsbury. So first and goal. Ball's now on the 15-yard line.
So again, penalties hurting both teams early on in this game. And in the second half, we see it again. So what was a 1st and 5 on the Indians' 5 is now a 1st and 15 on the Indians' 15. It's going to be a pitch out to White. Flag thrown early on the play.
Pitch out to number 14.
White tries to battle for a few extra yards, but it looks like it's going to be brought back. So we've seen 2 flags now on this drive. Both looking to be against the Colonials. And it will be.
Shrewsbury.
So now a holding call is going to bring them back. Second on the drive again. So what was a 1st and 5 is now a 1st and 25. Really hurting themselves early in the second half is the Colonials.
First and goal.
Quick substitution. Clint Mills comes in. Taking a quick breather. Cam Schaefer for the Colonials. So now there's going to be about 6 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Man sent in motion.
Campanelli on the carry.
Campanelli on the QB keep. He's going to pick up a few. So a good chunk of yardage picked up there by Campanelli. He'll get 10 back.
Second down and goal. For Shrewsbury.
And they're going to mark him down to 16. So he gets 9 there on the carry. Second and goal from the Indians' 16th yard line. confusion on the Shrewsbury side, and they're going to take a timeout.
Shrewsbury, full timeout.
So we've seen both teams try to utilize the clock in their favor. Try to hold on to the ball for as much and as long as they can while staying efficient. Both teams have done that so far, minus the turnover by the Colonials. There is 5:16 remaining in the third quarter. Indians yet to possess the ball on offense. Their defense right now tries to hold strong in the red zone. So 2nd and 16 after the timeout.
Give a big hand to the Grafton High and also the Shrewsbury High cheerleaders for their outstanding hard work.
Both teams come back from the timeout. Campanelli trying to lead his team to victory here against the Indians. So like we said earlier, this is technically a Shrewsbury home game. So Campanelli finds an open man. Open man finds a few blockers, and it's going to be a touchdown. An easy touchdown for Shrewsbury. Ben Harris on the reception touchdown as he goes 16 yards and walks into the end zone. Pretty much untouched. That was a beautifully executed passing play by the Colonials. So in the second half, the Colonials get on the board first. Now for the PAT attempt. Snap is down, kick is up.
And it is good.
It's good. And there's going to be a little talk as there is a flag.
Illegal procedure called against Shrewsbury.
Illegal procedure on Shrewsbury. So this makes this a little bit more interesting now. Back it up just 5 yards. Let's see if this comes back to hurt Shrewsbury. So back it up 5, and we're going to do the PAT over again. Eddie McAdam with the kick, and it's going to be blocked by the Indians. Picked up by Ben Barabee, and he looks to be gone. He's out to 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, and he's in. Mistake by the Colonials on the penalty, ends up in 2 points for Grafton. It was blocked and scooped up by the Indians. So with 5:07, the game is now 13-9. The Colonials still stay ahead, but the Indians score on the blocked PAT.
2 points for Shrewsbury 13, Grafton 9.
So the Indians will still receive the kickoff.
Shrewsbury will kick off.
Ben Barabee did return that one for 2 points.
Eddie McAdam on kickoff.
Ryan Jack and Ryan Warner back to receive the kick.
And Ryan Warner back deep to receive for Grafton.
So this interesting game just got a little bit more interesting. The Indians trying to receive the ball for the first time in this second half. And the ball is booted away towards the side of Ryan Warner. He receives this one, brings it towards the 30-yard line. Stiff arms the man. Comes back around to the outside. Warner staying shifty. Trying to find a hole. Finds a hole. Cuts back yet again. He's hit from behind. Out at the 45-yard line. Good return by Ryan Warner. Looked like he might have been down at around the 30. He cut back, found a few extra tackles, and returns it to the 45. He sets up the Indians with great field position. We saw Ryan Warner return a 70-yard punt last week, and he's doing his job again on special teams with a beautiful return to set up the Indians' offense at the 45-yard line.
First down and 10 for Grafton.
So now a little bit more extra life and a hop in the Indian step. Joe Blatt, he lines up on the near side. Jack and Sonnet back there with Holbrook in the gun. It's going to be a handoff to Ryan Jack. Tries to find a hole on the outside. Gets about 4.
Initial tackle made by number 1, TJ Mogera. We'll bring up a second down and 6.
So a 4-yard run there by Ryan Jack. Let's see what the Indians can do with the Ryan Warner return. Hand off to Sonnet. Hand off to Jack, excuse me. And he's going to bust up for a first down.
Tackle made by number 50, Jeff Swenson. That's good for a Grafton first down.
And Ryan Warner checks back in for Max Kogan.
First and 10 for Grafton.
And the Indians move the chains for the first time in the second half.
34-yard.
3:45 remaining in the third quarter. The Indians huddle up. And they break huddle. Nolan Warner lines up on the far side. Ryan Warner on the near side. Fontana, Holbrook, and Jack in the backfield. Handoff goes to Jack. Tries to follow his lead blocker, Fontana, but is stuffed at the line.
No gain on the play.
And that one stopped at the line for no gain.
Number 33, Cam Schaefer, and number 66, Dave Nelson.
Second and 10 now. Ball stays on the 35-yard line.
Second down and
Clock ticks under 3 minutes.
for Grafton.
The Indians break huddle. Blatt is on the near side. Jack on the far side. Warner, Fontana, and Holbrook in the gun. Holbrook receives the snap. Pressure up the middle. Looks right. Finds Fontana. Flag is thrown. Fontana is brought down. Looks to be a first down, but there is a flag. This one most likely going to be brought back. And it again is on the Indians, holding. Both teams getting themselves penalties often in this game that have constantly hurt them, as we just saw the Colonials hurt themselves with a penalty on the PAT, which ended up resulting in 2 points for the Indians. So the Indians are going to back themselves up about 10 yards. Second and 20. Holbrook pitches it out to Warner. Warner trying to find a few holes. Makes its way to the outside. Finds a gap on the outside. Beats a few men. Good run by Ryan Warner.
Sorry about that.
What did you say? What did you say?
He made a mistake. He said I'm stopped.
So 3rd and 7 for the Indians now.
Down and 7.
Still a solid 13-yard run by Ryan Warner. He's really coming in this game today trying to make a difference. So far in the second half, he's really showing what he's got. He stays in the game. Jack, he's going to line up on the near side. Fontana's next to Holbrook in the gun. It's going to be a fake to Warner. Holbrook looking left. He's got to escape pressure. Throws on the run. It's a bullet. A beautiful throw and catch. Caught by Ryan Jack on the sideline. Good enough for an Indians first down.
Jack That is good for a first down for Grafton.
So the Indians pick up another first down and they move the chain. So Ryan Warner checks out, Jackson Sonna checks back in.
10 for Grafton.
1:10 remaining
Third quarter.
in the third. Ryan Jack, he's going to line up on the right side as a lonesome receiver. In the eye. Jack sent in motion. Pitch out right to Sonnet. He gets a block from Brady Fontana. Spin move, but is swallowed up after a gain of maybe 3.
It's up about 5 yards.
Clock under a minute now. We're looking at about 40 seconds remaining in the third. A solid pickup there, 4 or 5 from Sonnet. They're going to mark it as exactly 5-yard gain. Holbrook now checking in with the offense. Indians break huddle. Joe Blatt in there at tight end. Under center, in the eyes, Matt Holbrook. A little switch up there on offense. Middle miscommunication. Holbrook going to take it on the right side. Avoids a few guys, dives in. They mark him in. Touchdown, Indians. A play that looked to start out like a disaster ends up being a touchdown for the Indians. What a play by Matt Holbrook. What a recovery from the senior. It looked to be a botched handoff or maybe even a miscommunication, but Holbrook turns it into 6. Timeout, Indians. So from a possible disaster to 6 points. What a play by Matt Holbrook.
Grafton will kick the extra point.
So an extra point here can either put them up 3, and a miss would keep it a 2-point game. So that blocked PAT is really becoming a factor in this game. Zastani to kick the PAT for the Indians. Good snap. Kick is down. Kick is up. Kick is good.
And it is good.
So now
2.8 seconds left in the third quarter. Grafton
it's a 3-point game
Shrewsbury 13.
in the Indians' favor. So a great hustle play by Ben Barabee to collect 2 points on the block PAT. Now essentially puts the Indians up 3 with that Zastani PAT. So we have 2.8 ticks remaining in the third. And the Indians hold on to a 16-13 lead. We've seen this game take crazy turns so far tonight. Let's see what else we have in store. If you're the Indians so far, you've won the position battle, especially on special teams, and you want to try to keep it that way. So if you're Zastani, maybe a quick squib kick, or keep it out of the hands of one of the big returners for Shrewsbury. Zastani puts down the tee as he looks to try to boot it away.
Tony. Number 33.
They break huddle.
And number 1, TJ Morgera, back for Shrewsbury.
Zastani signals both sides and he's ready for the kick. It's going to be a low line drive boot. Looks to be muffed by the Colonials. As the buzzer sounds, he's brought down
Brings it out.
to maybe the 25-26. So that's the third quarter. The Indians have a 16-13 lead over the Colonials, and we'll be right back after this. Welcome to this fourth quarter action here at Grafton High School, where we have a great matchup between the Grafton Indians and the Shrewsbury Colonials. Let's get going in the fourth. The QB keeper. And the Indians try to stuff him After about a 5-yard gain there from Campanelli.
Number 32, Brady Fontana, in on the tackle.
Fontana there for the stop. About a 7 or 8 yard gain.
3 for Shrewsbury.
And we enter crunch time in this ball game. On the near side is number 81, Phil Samaros for the Colonials. He is the lonesome receiver. A fullback run. Crazy hit by Matt Holbrook.
Good for Shrewsbury first down by number 6, Alice Cashman.
So on the first 2 plays of this drive to begin the fourth quarter, the Colonials move the chains.
Ball on the 43-yard line.
Campanelli now checking in with his offensive team. Again, the lonesome receiver out wide right, Phil Samarnios. Campanelli, he hands it off to the fullback again. Avoiding a few tackles is number 6, Alex Cashman. Tries to fight through a few tackles, picks up 5 yards on the play.
Inside handoff, number 6, Alex Cashman. Cole Thornton in on the tackle. Brings up a second down and 5 for Shrewsbury.
Mitchell McDonald now checking in for the Indians. Taking a breather, Josh Petitridge. Second and 5 for the Colonials on their own 43. They put White in motion. Campanelli on the QB keeper. Gets the first down and more. He's looking on the outside now. Steps out of bounds.
Out of bounds. But it's good for a Shrewsbury first down.
Both teams having some words on the sidelines over there. Nonetheless, the Colonials move the chains again. The clock is officially ticked under 9. First and 10 now on the Indian side of the field. The Colonials looking to strike. And we're going to get a whistle and a timeout. Colonials are going to take one early.
Timeout called by Shrewsbury.
So the Indians still hold a 16-13 lead right now. Their defense looking to get a stop. And the Colonials break from the timeout.
First down and 10 for Shrewsbury.
Campanelli. He's going to keep it on the QB sneak. He finds his way to the outside. Tries to shut through a few tackles, but is stopped. The play is blown dead. Sonnet and Thornton there on the tackle.
Pick up about 5 yards on it.
A solid gain there for the Colonials on first down.
Second down for Shrewsbury.
They look to push into the red zone. Quick substitution for the Colonials. Again, 81 for the Colonials. The lone man set up on the far right. Looks like the Colonials are going to run it to White.
Handoff to number 14.
Stuffed.
Tackle made by Cole Thornton.
So now the Colonials look at a 3rd and 4. For the Indians, this is a big chance to get a stop. The lone man, Campanelli, in the gun. Sends White in motion. He's going to keep it himself.
Campanelli.
Looks to be good enough for the first.
That is a first down for Shrewsbury.
And the Colonials are going to pick up another first down, and it's going to move the chains. So yet another QB keeper and another first down for the Colonials. 7 minutes left now in the game.
First down and 10, just outside the 20-yard line.
Campanelli sends a man in motion.
Side handoff.
Hands it off.
And Schaefer.
This one going to number 33, Schaefer. Picks up a solid 2-3 on the first down carry.
Field on that tackle. Second down and 7 for Shrewsbury.
So we approach the later stages of the game. Both teams trying to hold strong in the trenches. The O-line and D-line trying to push ahead. They could be the deciding factor in the game. Campanelli under center. Takes the snap. Fakes it. Looking to pass. Incomplete. No flag on the play. The Shrewsbury side begging for a flag.
Incomplete pass.
But the play was deflected and broken up by number 12, senior defensive end cornerback,
Third down and 7.
Matt Holbrook. He looks a little shaken up on the play. Big third and long, 3rd and 7 to be exact. The Colonials in the red zone. Ball on the 17-yard line.
Third down and 7 for Shrewsbury.
They break huddle. This is a crucial play in this game. Campanelli in the gun. He rolls left, throws on the run, and it's through the hands of Phil Simonos.
Number 81, Phil Simonos.
Now it is 4th down.
Down and 7.
Big play for the Indians defense. Sophomore Nolan Warner looked to check in the game, but he's going to stay out for this play. The Indians defense staying hyped up. This is a big play in the 4th quarter. 5:55 remaining. 4th and 7. Indians trying to hold on to a 3-point lead. Both sides getting into it. Campanelli from the gun. It's a low snap. He steps back, fires to the end zone. Incomplete. Great defense by the Indians. And they're going to take over on downs.
On down. First down and 10 for Grafton. 5:47 left in the game.
So a crucial stop by the Indians defense. Now they're going to hand it over to the offense. If you're the Indians, you want to keep it on the ground, but not necessarily stay passive, because this game still has plenty of time left. Run your offense, just stay run heavy. For the Indians, you want to try to keep the ball out of Campanelli's hands for as long as you can. And they can do that for 5 minutes and 47 seconds. They'll take the game.
First down and 10.
So from one senior quarterback to the other, Matt Holbrook tries to take this game over. He has Warner and Sonnet. Sonnet to his left, Warner to his right. He'll give it to Warner.
Ryan Warner.
He's going to get stuffed at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard on the play. They're the Indians again. Try to keep the ball on the ground, but don't necessarily go passive 100%. Still plenty of time left in the game.
Second down and
You want to try to keep winning the field position battle. Warner's going to check out of the game for now. We're going to approach 5 minutes to play. The Indians break huddle. Jack, he's going to line up on the near side. They're going to send Jack in motion. I formation here. Pitch out to Sonnet. He finds a hole. He's around right. He stiff arms a man and is marked down at around the 35-yard line. Good enough to pick up the first, and he stays inbounds. That'll keep the clock running. Sonnet motioning over to the crowd to stay up. Another great run for the senior running back, Jackson Sonnet. He's going to check out of this game. Ryan Warner checks back in, keeping the subs fresh on the Indian side. 4:30 remaining in this game.
First and 10 for Grafton. The ball.
Essentially, it's all up to the big men down there. Can they pull their weight? Let's see. Indians in the eye. It's a pitch out to Warner.
Ryan Warner.
It's a pileup. Maybe 2 yards on the play. For the Indians, ball security is key here.
Second down and 8 for Grafton.
You can essentially run this ball almost to 2 minutes. The score is still 16-13. The Colonials have 3 timeouts remaining in this game. And the Indians break huddle. 3:45 remaining in this game. 2nd and 8. Ball on the Indians' own 39. The snap. Holbrook's going to hand this one off to Ryan Warner, who tries to find a hole. A solid gain. Brings it over the 40 to the 41-yard line.
Ball carried by Ryan Warner. Brings up a 3rd down and 3 for Grafton.
It's a big 3rd down for the Indians. This is huge. Both sides getting into it. Indians have gained some ground. With a good first down here, they could win the position battle.
3rd down and 3 for Grafton.
Let's see what they do on this 3rd and 3. Will they keep it on the ground with Sonnet or throw it? Back in the eye. Big signaling over to Holbrook. McMahon fiercely calling for a timeout.
Grafton.
So the Indians are going to take a timeout. After this, they will have 3 remaining. Both teams will have 3 timeouts. 3rd and 3. So let's discuss how the rest of this game could go down. If you're the Indians and you can't pick up the first down here, you still got yourself decent position. You can punt this one away. But you got to remember, special teams for the Colonials is something they take good pride in and have been successful with so far this season. You don't want to set them up with a good return or else it'll flip the field position right back. If you're the Indians, on this offensive 3rd and 3 play, don't necessarily stay heavy on the ground. Keep your options open. You have Ryan Jack and Ryan Warner as great wide receivers. Either way, the 3rd and 3 play. They send Jack slightly in motion. Sonnet tries to find a hole outside. He's going to get to the outside. Spin move and a first down. A first down and more for Sonnet. Clutch 3rd down run there from the Indians. Ryan Jack shaking just a little bit up on the play. He's going to stay down. Looks to be a cramp. The trainer's going to stretch him out here. So 2:39 remaining. McMahon now signaling to his team in the huddle. Ryan Jack's going to walk off the field. Either way, 1st and 10 for the Indians.
1st and 10.
After the Sonnet first down.
2:39.
Again, both teams have 3 timeouts remaining, and the clock's going to run. Grafton side getting into it. 2:30 now remaining in the game. Indians break huddle. Ball security is key here. Sonnet and Fontana in the eye. They're going to put Warner in motion. Handoff goes to Sonnet.
Off to Jackson Sonnet.
1, maybe 2-yard gain there from Sonnet.
And we have a timeout.
Immediate timeout from the Colonials. That's going to put them at just 2 remaining. Second and about 8 for the Indians. .208 remaining in the ball game. Looks like Ryan Jack is going to check back into the game for the Indians. Holbrook gets the call from Bink, and he's going to head back into the huddle. They're going to mark him down 2nd and 9. Ryan Warner, he's on the far side. Sonnet and Fontana in the backfield in the eye.
Stop to Ryan Warner.
On the motion play goes to Ryan Warner. He's going to lose yards. So that play only took 6 seconds to unravel, and the Indians are going to lose 3 yards on the play. 2:02 remaining. The score is still 16-13. The Indians ahead. With that timeout by the Colonials, they have 1 remaining. Big 3rd down here if you're the Indians. If you keep it on the ground, you're most likely going to eat up the last timeout the Colonials have. If not, you're going to bring the time to about 1 minute and 20 seconds. Let's see what the Indians are going to do here. The Indians still have 3 timeouts remaining.
3rd down and 12 for Grafton.
The Colonials break huddle from the timeout. And the Indians do too. Ryan Warner is going to check out for this play. Checking back in, Jackson Sonnet. Big 3rd and long here. 1st down puts the game out of reach. Ryan Jack lines up on the far side. Nolan Warner, he's going to line up on the near side. Fontana in the gun next to Holbrook. Holbrook's going to pitch it out to Sonnet. Sonnet finds a hole, breaks a tackle, and he's going to get about 4, maybe 5 on the play.
Jackson Sonnet on the carry.
Immediately, the Colonials burn their last timeout.
8. We did call a timeout.
So there is the official last timeout the Colonials possessed. Ball on the 45-yard line of the Colonials. The Indians in possession, 4th and 8. They're going to punt this one away. Big punt here. They can pin them down inside the 10 here. We've seen the boot of Matt Holbrook come out this season with his high booming kicks. Not easy to receive. Indians has taken a lot of pride in their special teams this year, scoring a touchdown week 1. We saw them put up 2 points on a block PAT earlier this game. So definitely stellar outing for the special teams so far. Holbrook the punter now. Ready to receive is 33-1 for the Colonials. It's a high booming kick. It's going to bounce at the 20-yard line. Bounce again at the 17 and out of bounds where they will be marked out. So now it's time for the Colonials to take the field with just 1:43 remaining in this game. Let's see what Campanelli can do. Senior quarterback tries to lead his team down the field.
First down and 10 for Shrewsbury.
Again, no timeouts for Shrewsbury. 3 for Grafton. A turnover ends the game. Checking into the game, number 5, Ben Harris for the Colonials. They break huddle. They're going to be looking to pass on this drive. Campanelli in the gun. White to his left. They send the man in motion. That'll be Harris.
Campanelli back to pass.
Campanelli on the run.
Ball's up in the air and it is incomplete.
Incomplete. Harris was the intended receiver on the play. He made a diving effort.
Brings up a second down and 10 for Shrewsbury.
So now it is 2nd and 10. Again, a turnover on downs ends the game. The Colonials trail by just 3. The Indians trying to hold them. They're going to have to go 84 yards to try to win the game. Campanelli in the gun yet again.
Second down and 10. Campanelli back to pass.
He's looking deep left. Ball's up, and it is caught. What an insane catch.
81.
Number 81, Phil Samaros on the catch.
Those 3-0.
And right away, the Colonials get to the line.
First down for Shrewsbury. First down and 10.
So now there's 1:28 to go. What a great arm from Campanelli. We've seen it all season so far, and we've seen it last year.
Campanelli back to
Campanelli looking left again.
ball is up.
The ball is caught. Again, number 81. Phil Samaros on the catch. Whistle's being blown.
It is second down.
1:14 remaining now. Second and maybe 3.
Second down and 4.
Both sides getting into it. Ball on the 36-yard line. This is becoming a rivalry between the two teams. Campanelli breaks the huddle. Again in the shotgun, White to his left. He's surveying the field. He's going to take the snap, drop back. It's a screen pass to White. White up the middle, gets hit, but he gets enough for the first down.
Number 14.
So the clock is going to stop temporarily at 1:06.
Good for Shrewsbury first down.
Clock now running. We're at 1 minute to go. Campanelli on the QB keeper. He's stuffed. The clock again going to continue to tick. The Colonials have no timeouts remaining. They have to get to the line quickly. 2nd and about 8. They're going to say 7. 2nd and 7 on the play. Ball on the 28-29 yard line. Campanelli from the gun. He's going to take the snap. Roll right. He's looking left now. He runs left. He throws it. It's caught, and it's going to be a first down. Number 12, Nehatula on the catch.
We'll bring up a first down.
So with 27 ticks remaining in the game, the Colonials pick up yet another first down. They're going to get it, and they're going to spike it. 24-2 remaining in the game. So essentially, the Colonials put themselves in field goal range. Ball on the 6. 2nd and goal. Again, no timeouts. If the Colonials take a sack, they're going to have to get to the line and spike it. The Indians still have 3 remaining. The Indians defense needs to hold strong here. The Indians break huddle. Cimarronos, number 81, he is on the left side, far left. It's going to be a draw to number 5. He's marked short. 16 seconds now. The clock is going to continue to tick. The ball is spiked. So this is it. When the ball was spiked, it stops the clock.
Timeout. Grafton.
So they did spike it, but then the timeout was immediately called by the Indians. So 4th and what looks to be 2.5 yards. This is going to be the last play of the game.
Fourth and goal. 2.5 yards.
So again, the last play of the game right here. What can the Colonials do? It's been a crazy game. Let's see how this one ends. They started this drive on their own 16. They had to go 84. They've gone 82 so far. They could kick the field goal to put this one in overtime, but it looks like they're going to go for the win. Indians defense ready to try to preserve the lead. 10.2 remaining. 16-13, the Indians are ahead. Both teams getting into it. Both crowds getting into it. This is it. 4th and 2, ball on the 2. Campanelli under center. He takes it himself. Touchdown, Shrewsbury. And the Colonials do the impossible. With a minute and change, go down the field. 84 yards with no timeouts to take the lead. Absolute heartbreaker.
And then again, back with the kick. The extra point.
Just 5 seconds remaining in the game. The PAT about to go up. See if the Indians are trying to block this one. And we're going to get a flag. Illegal procedure yet again. But this one may be all but over. And we'll do it again. 5.7 ticks remaining, but again, this is just a PAT. Eddie McCadman. PAT is up. No good. Wide right.
No good.
So why not try to speak something into existence here? We've seen it in the pros and in college football. We've seen the lateral and the lateral drill come into effect. We saw it in the NCAA. Duke giving up a crazy lateral finish to, I believe, UNC. We've seen it in the pros, the Jaguars, with an impossible full field lateral bonanza, if you want to call it, to end up coming back to tie the game. They ended up losing that game on a PAT. But again, trying to speak something into existence here with a miracle on the line. Either way, Campanelli just led his team down the field 84 yards for a QB keeper touchdown to possibly seal the deal, close the case against the Indians. But again, don't count us out here. 5.7 remaining. Shrewsbury up 19-16. Ryan Warner, he's on the left side and the near side. Sonnet, he's on the far side. The two seniors are going to try to make a miracle happen. A squib kick. And it's going to be fielded by Drew Belanger, and he's just going to down himself. Smart play there by the senior. Cleanly fielding the ball and downing himself. So this is it. 4.8 remaining. Indians trailing by 3. Ball on their own 31. Ball in the hands of senior quarterback Matt Holbrook. The Colonials in prevent D. Sending two men way back on the opposite 30-yard line. Man standing at midfield. Campanelli at the 40. Only rushing about 3 or 4 here. Holbrook receiving the final word. This is it. The final play of the game. Nolan Warner and Ryan Jack. They're going to line up on the near side. Ryan Warner and Jackson Sona on the far side. Fontana next to Holbrook in the gun.
Back to pass.
They look. The ball is going to be thrown in, incomplete to Ryan Warner. So, excuse me, we're going to get one more play. Again, 1.4 remaining in the game. Indians trail by 3. Ball still on their 31. Defeated Indians come together in the huddle. They break huddle again.
Second down and 10.
Nolan Warner, Ryan Jack on the near side. Ryan Warner, Jackson on the far side. Holbrook gets it from the gun. Pressure up the middle. He avoids pressure. He's looking downfield. He throws it over the middle to Jackson Sona and is batted down.
That was the ball game.
That's going to be your game. Shrewsbury takes it in a stunner. 19-16 over the Grafton Indians. I want to thank everyone for joining me tonight. It was a great one in the booth. Until next week, I'm Mark Stavatelli signing off. Have a great one, guys.